Hey, boy, it's been a minute since our last war video, hasn't it? And that one has been pretty popular with the Infinity Man. Unfortunately, this war is not terribly interesting. There's not a whole lot to analyze here, so we're going to kind of speed through this one. This is the final war of Season 2, so this will kind of complete the set. And then my next war-related video will be a Season 2 summary. I had hoped to get that together earlier than I have, but you know, that's how it goes. So also the video quality, I don't know what's going on here, but like when I imported the recordings from my phone, they were at a lower resolution. So I don't know if that's partly like my phone settings. Maybe I don't have enough space, and it was trying to minimize the file sizes. Who cares? You guys don't care. I know. But anyway, so here we have a tech champ, and I'm just checking his attack team. What I'm looking for is I don't know, Stark Spider-Man, anybody like that. And this is, of course, with the old mini, or the before the new minis, which have been introduced in the off-season. So we don't get to see it, but it is an Ultron, no problem. And just going to play this safe. You guys have seen this fight probably a dozen times on my channel. And sometimes I make some screw-ups, but generally it's the same strategy. It is just to bait the heavy, take some block damage, bait the L1, and be careful of the evade, and that's about it. That's about it. So let's see here. The next fight is a Mystic champ on the power gain node, and you can see there from Scouter Lens that it is a 455 champ. And you can see there from the fight screen that it is a Mephisto with the 3 persistence charges. So this is always a fun fight to me. Mystics that bleed on the power gain node. I just think that it's more of a strategy-based fight, and that's kind of fun. So you guys know what my strategy is. It is to parry bleed as much as possible, and then I like to use the L1 because it puts a bleed on them and it doesn't feed them a ton of power. And then just gonna bleed this guy. Just gonna start bleeding him. Look at the period bleeds. 5. Just gonna whack him once and he's down. So that's a 14 hit victory there. Now obviously this strategy only works with Blade, and it certainly helps that I have danger sense in those fights, and against Mephisto that I can shut down his regeneration charges or whatever, but I don't know. Here we have a Proxima Midnight, and this is the 345 Proxima Midnight on Unblockable 1. Very easy fight. Her L1 is very easy to dodge, and the reason I took magic in both of the cosmic fights in this war was just to be extra careful. And in that fight, you know, even a 345 Medusa could be a pain. I don't think that Apoco would do that, risk a loss this late in the season to diversity, especially placing a 345 duplicate champ. But anyway, that was my thought process. That's the reason I took in magic. And then obviously the L1, since it is unblockable, you know, it'd be nice to power lock them. So anyway, so here we have a 565 Blade on Bane, and this was a really fun fight. So I really enjoy fighting Blade as a defender. I think that he's a great defender, and you guys saw in an earlier video, I died to a 565 Blade on the Unblockable 2 and Power Gain Mini. I just think he's a really good defender, and I think that it's pretty good placement here too. With power, obviously he can shrug off your parry stun. a lot faster. But I do think that he is definitely best on power gain nodes. All or Nothing is also, I think, a good spot for him. Iceman can kind of counter him on power gain nodes, but there's not as many Icemen on attack, I think, as there were in the past. A lot of people are placing him on defense now and bringing in some of the newer champs. But anyway, that is the fight against Blade. Here, this is the last fight for me of the season. This is against Yondu on the Power Gain mini boss, and I think that I said this earlier in the season. I know it's been a long season, so but I would say that Yondu is not a very good defender on Power Gain nodes because he's pretty aggressive with his L1. He doesn't he's not super defensive, and he doesn't hold his specials. So he throws his specials pretty willingly, and his L1 is the easiest thing. It's baiting his L1 and punishing it is the easiest strategy against Yondu. Even if you don't know how to fight Yondu, which I did not previous to Season 2, he is still it's really easy to bait his L1 and punish it. There's just a huge window. So for all the Yondu's for defense, I do think that he's more effective on different nodes. Unblockable, L2 is a great node for him. Bane is a pretty decent node for him, although if you do know how to parry him effectively, then that's not even terribly difficult. So anyway, that is the season for 4 Loki. So we finished, I believe, 7th or 8th. It's been so long I can't even remember at this point. But that is 24 war videos that you guys have watched on my channel for Season 2. That's pretty crazy. Look at this, though. In the final war of the season against Apoco, trying to, they wanted to win out, so they were giving their best effort. We only had 1 battle group death. That's pretty awesome. I can't remember what our death count was for the entire war, but it was pretty low. Apoco did win. They're a tremendous alliance. They had a really low death count. So that is the video, guys. Thanks for watching, and my next video will be a Season 2 recap.